Hi there, I'm Dr. Stacey Cooper, and I'm so amazed and excited to be here with you for the International Voices of Women's Summit on International Women's Day. Self love is what I want to share with you today because self love truly is the key to great health. I'm an expert in helping you heal your health naturally. I've written the book, Heal Your Health, Nourishing Your Mind, Body, and Spirit Naturally. And I want to share with you some easy tips that you can implement for implementing self care into your daily routine, therefore, being able to nourish you first. But first, I'd like to share a little bit about my story with you so that you have an idea as to where I started from and why the concept of self care is of such vital importance in my life. Over the course of time, as I was growing, starting my practice when I was in my 20s and 30s, raising my family, having my children, married to my high school sweetheart, there were a number of life events that occurred in a very short period of time, which led to me shouldering more and more responsibility and me thinking that I needed to look after everyone else. And I wasn't looking after myself. And when you will find yourself in that state, that is when the wheels start to fall off the bus. And that's how I came to learn the hard way the critical importance of self love and self care. As I was growing up, I was always taught as a little girl to share with my friends, to give to others, to put others' needs ahead of mine. This is one of the critical things through the course of my life that I actually had to unlearn, to let go of, because coming from that mindset, if my partner beside me as we were in grade school, 6 and 7 years old, if they didn't have a red crayon to color with, well, I would always give them mine. I'm a giver. That's my nature. It comes from my heart. If they didn't have enough in their lunch and they wanted some of the snacks that I had, of course I gave them some of mine. I was always serving others first because I was always taught to share, to give to others. Maybe you found yourself in that same kind of situation as you were growing up and maybe carried that with you through into present day right now. And that's where I was. I was always giving to others because I was taught that to hoard it all to myself, to keep it to myself, that was being selfish. And that wasn't a very nice thing to be. That was thought of being very negative, a derogatory, being selfish. You don't want to be in that place. So I was always striving to give more to others. And I received my own self worth from the praise that I got from those around me as I did more and more for everyone else. But you see, there is a point that you can get to where your cup is running lower and lower and lower. If you're not re energizing yourself, if you're not replenishing those batteries, if you're not filling your cup back up, then you get to a point where you don't have any more to give. And if you're not looking after yourself, if you're not looking after your health, no one else is going to do it for you. And that's the point that I found myself in. You see, when I was just 33 years old, I was at a point in my life where I'd been practicing with my dad. I'm a fourth generation doctor of chiropractic, and we've been in practice since 1912. And I was practicing with my dad for the past 5 years at this point in my life. We already had two children. I was expecting our third. Our family was growing. My practice was growing. I was working with my dad, and everything was wonderful. But dad took sick. He wasn't able to practice anymore. That means I had to step in and look after his patients. I'm going to run through this little time frame in my life quite quickly. That was in November. In January, my husband and I decided to buy a new home out in the country, and we still live on this property today, 20 years later, and we love it here. But that was another big life event, purchase of a new home. I was expecting a baby in March. Derek was born then. But I also had to hire a locum for the business to look after our patients because dad wasn't able to practice. So, see all of these big life events, big change in my business life, big change in my home life, purchasing a new home, big change in family life with a new baby. And then during my 8-week maternity leave, my dad was admitted to the hospital. He was under constant care. He was then recovering and stabilizing. And we were so looking forward to having him come home. And then he passed. That was on the May long weekend. That was also the weekend we moved. And then on the following Monday, I was back in the office seeing patients with young Derek in tow. We had buried my dad on the Thursday before, and life carried on. I was now supporting our patients who were grieving a loss of their friend and mentor. I was supporting my mom and my brothers through this grief, and I didn't allow myself to grieve. I was supporting my children at home, my husband. My plate was overflowing. There wasn't enough time for me, and there was no self-care for me. Your body is such a remarkable adaptive mechanism, and it does the best that it can with what it has to deal with until it gets to that breaking point. And that's where I found myself not just 5 months later in August. So, do you see how short of a turnaround time that was from November to August? Not even a full year. And that was the breaking point. It was through that experience that I came to understand that if I don't look after me first, I am no good to anyone else. And that's the message that I want to share with you today as well, that without self love and self care, there is nothing. And self love isn't selfish, not at all. Let me dispel that myth for you. Taking care of yourself first actually enables you to show up as your best version of you. Therefore, you can give more to those around you because you've recharged your batteries, you've re energized yourself, you've taken time to rejuvenate. All of this is so important. So, what I came up with is what I call hard entries in my calendar. And these are remarkable. This changes everything. Putting yourself at the top of your priority list, you know that there's a number of things you need to do in a day. You have your to do list, it could be this long. Oftentimes, there's not enough day for that list. Now, some things on that list may then get carried over to the next day, but the problem is that list gets rearranged so that yoga class you wanted to do Monday night that you never kind of got the time for, it got pulled over to the Tuesday list, but it's not at the top of the list or near the top of the Tuesday list because the Tuesday list gets rearranged, right? This is the problem because then oftentimes everything that we want to do for ourselves gets squashed to the bottom and there's never enough time in the day. Well, when you utilize the strategy of hard entries, this changes everything. So let me explain. A hard entry is something that you ink in ink, not penciled in so it can be erased and rearranged and moved and shifted. No, it is inked in. It's permanent. It's in there. It's your commitment to you, to the things that you want to do for you, for your self care. And that could be a whole list of things, whatever your heart desires, whatever helps you to replenish your soul, to rejuvenate your spirit, to recharge your batteries and re energize. So that could be a yoga class, it could be meditation, it could be taking time to just read a book, taking time for a nice warm bubble bath, a half hour to yourself to go out for a walk, experience nature, listen to the birds, ground with the earth to re energize and reconnect. To maybe do some knitting or a handicraft or a jigsaw puzzle, to do that aerobics class, whatever the thing is, put it in ink in your calendar. Then you set a reminder in your phone so that little alarm goes off to let you know it's time for you to take care of you. Now there's no excuses. You schedule it in the part of the day that you know works for you. If you want to go for a 20-minute walk and you schedule it at 2 a.m. when you're going to be asleep in bed, you know that's not going to work. So schedule it at a time that works for you. Set the alarm. And also make sure it's something that you really want to do, that you love to do. If you want to improve your exercise routine and you want to get more physical movement in your body, and you decide, okay, I'm going to run for 20 minutes Tuesday night at 4 o'clock after I'm finished in the office. That's what I do. You can do whatever you like. But if you hate running, don't choose running as being your exercise activity, because that will be your first barrier to even beginning. So make sure it's something that you love. So as you step into incorporating self-care in your life, it truly is time for you to put you at the top of your priority list, because no one else is going to do it for you. No one else is going to look after your health for you. You may have already had a health scare. You may certainly have girlfriends who have already had a health scare. You know it's time for you to step into looking after you. So implementing this simple strategy of hard entries in your calendar for self-love is one of the first steps. It's not only one of the first steps, but it's also a step that I include in the free guide that I'm offering to you for the Voices of Women International Women's Day event. It's the 10 Down 10 Days guide. So this is a free guide that all of our members will receive. You will be able to download this. You will receive emails about it from the Voices of Women event. And this is 10 simple steps that you can implement just 10 minutes at a time to begin to heal your health naturally. And one of the things that I love about this guide is that on the back page, I have all 10 steps listed right there. So you can print off the back page, put it on your mirror in the bathroom, so you see it first thing in the morning. You can put it on your refrigerator, any prominent place that will help you to remember to incorporate the 10 steps each day. Sorry about the light there. There you go. So you can see that. So you can go ahead and grab that guide. It will be made available to you immediately through this amazing International Women's Day event. Now, the other thing that I have available for you is a special for the VIPs, is an amazing 10 down bundle, where you will not only receive the 10 down guide, which I just shared with you, but this is a package where you will also receive the Healthy Shopping Blueprint, because I will also provide for you my 10 Down meal plan during this 10 Down challenge. So you get the Healthy Shopping Blueprint as the companion to the Healthy Fuels Cookbook, which is you'll receive in a PDF form as well for the VIPs. This is the offer for them. So if you want to upgrade, go ahead and upgrade to VIP and you will get this too. So you'll get a full PDF version of my full cookbook. You will receive the 10 Down 10 Days guide, also the Healthy Shopping Blueprint. You will also receive the 10 Down accountability tool, as well as the meal plan, as I mentioned earlier. All of these will be available as PDFs, as well as how to manage your waistline. Now, what I love about each of these tools individually is the 10 Down guide, of course, is the 10 simple steps that you can implement just 10 minutes at a time. It's really easy when you only need 10 minutes. There's a head to toe stretching routine. There's a chair yoga session for getting movement in your body, because a supple body is a healthy, happy body. This does not just deal with the foods that you eat, although the fuel that you put in your body is really important, but it talks about how to nourish your mind, your body, and your spirit. Now, the 10 Down Challenge meal plan is such an incredible tool where you will not have to answer the question, what's for dinner tonight? Because that will be all laid out for you right there. The 10 Down accountability tool, this is such an amazing tool because it keeps you on track every day. As soon as you've done your rise and shine, you check it off on the sheet and you can track exactly where you are through the course of the day and what you need left to incorporate during that day. And again, the Healthy Fuels Cookbook is kid tested, family approved, and wheat-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, gluten-free, easy and delicious, diabetic friendly, and will help you to fuel your body better. So all of that is available. That's the VIP package. So if you want to upgrade, by all means, click the link, upgrade to VIP, and then you will receive this bundle for free as my gift to all the VIPs. The amazing thing is when you begin to implement self love into your daily routine and utilizing those hard entries into your calendar so that you are at the top of your priority list, what happens then is that you begin to model this for other women around you, whether it be your friends, your daughters, your sisters, your mothers, even everyone that you come in contact with. As you begin to make this shift, this changes everything. Because as we come together in community and women sharing with other women, especially during this amazing International Women's Day, this is how we can lift each other up and support each other. You don't have to do it all alone and by yourself. That's a very lonely road. It's a very long road to hoe as well. When we come together for International Women's Day and then every day moving forward, I implore you to welcome all the women in your circles to come join you in this movement forward, of you taking care of you naturally, of you stepping into your power and understanding that it is you who's in charge. You get to choose what you're going to do today. You do have control of the time in your day. And if you want to create more time, the best way is by scheduling it, by implementing those tips right into your calendar. Because if you just think, oh, okay, I'm going to do that yoga class tonight, and then you get home, the kids want your attention, or there's a project at work that needs extra time, and things don't get done the way that you expect to in the time frame that you expect to. And then when the time does roll around when you're supposed to be attending that class for you, guess what? You're not there. But if you take the opportunity to schedule it, to put the alert in your phone so that you know what is coming up, what your intention is, then this changes everything. Intention is really important for outcomes. If you want to change the outcomes that you're experiencing right now, then the only way that that can happen is by you choosing differently, by you choosing to set an intention of having change in your life. And if you keep doing the same things over and over, then of course nothing is going to change. Making change isn't as hard as you think. And that's exactly why with the 10 down guide, I created it so that you could do it just 10 minutes at a time. And remember, every attendee of this amazing event will receive the 10 down guide for free as a download. So you will have access to this as an immediate download so you can get started right away. Because change can be hard if you bite off more than you can chew, right? If you set such a great big goal that it's daunting, that it's seemingly impossible. Well, as they say, you don't run a marathon on day one, stepping out the door. You have to train. You have to work up to that great big goal. So, setting an intention of what you want to create for your life is one of the first steps. But then, secondly, is putting in place the targets that you can reach easily and effectively in a very timely manner, putting those targets in place and then planning the baby steps to reach that target. That's why doing it just 10 minutes at a time is so easy because you can put that anywhere in your day. Taking 10 minutes from your desk to stretch and move your body, that's your bathroom break, right? It really is important. Bodies were meant to move, and we function so much better when we were Little House on the Prairie, taking care of all different kinds of activities through the course of the day, using different muscles at different times, and being active and strong. Today, in our sedentary lifestyle, all of that seems to be washed away, and our bodies are tight and tense, and cortisol isn't being released and expelled from the body. That stress and tension just builds up more and more. And we know how much stress and tension we've experienced, especially over this past year. Exercise is a key component to releasing stress and tension, to allowing that cortisol to flush out of your body, to enable you to feel more energized. If you feel really tired and exhausted and feel like you can't even put one foot in front of the other, I'm here to tell you that to just start by taking a 10-minute walk will absolutely change the energy levels of your body. Our bodies are meant function well, and your body is repairing every single second of every day. But it can only do the best that it can with what you provide for it. So if your body is not thriving, if you are not thriving, then it's time for you to change how you're going about it. Change the environment that you're providing for your body so that you can change your outcomes. And that's why the 10 steps is so easy to get you headed in the right direction of healing your health naturally, nourishing your mind, your body, and your spirit. So be sure to take time for you each day. Starting your day with gratitude immediately shifts the energy in your body and the outlook for your day, which will also shift how people relate to you and interact with you because your energy will have shifted. They will perceive that too, and they will then interact with you differently as well. So go ahead, download the 10 Down Guide, and I welcome you as you heal your health naturally. All of our attendees will get the 10 Down Guide as a download for free. Everyone will receive the 10 Down Guide. I'm Dr. Stacey, and I certainly hope that you step into providing more self-care for you, because what's self-love got to do with it? Everything. It's time to put you at the top of your priority list so that you can live a life of great health, tremendous abundance in all aspects, living your best life in the body you crave. I'm Dr. Stacey, and thank you for being here for International Women's Day and sharing time with me. Namaste.